Salve. I will be introducing you to Commentariorum De Bello Gallico by Caesar. We'll go through it primarily sentence by sentence, piece by piece, and covering the different grammatical concepts to help you read it. And I will also be linking in the sidebar these concepts to videos made by Magister Brent so that you can see the grammatical pieces in more detail, because this is going to be more of an overview, whereas he will do more of the strict grammar. Okay, first, let's going to read it through. Gallia est omnis divisa in partes tres, quarum unam incolunt Belgae, aliam Aquitani, tertiam qui ipsorum lingua Celtae, nostra Galli appellantur. So what do we have first? We have Gallia est omnis divisa in partes tres. So you have to recognize here that Gallia is your subject, and omnis is an adjective, and so Gallia is Gaul, and we'll learn more about that later. Est is. Divisa is what's known as a perfect passive participle. It kind of works like an adjective. It comes from the verb dividere, and you'll know from your principal parts, this is the fourth principal part, which Brent will teach you, that it becomes divisus, and to put in the feminine, because Gallia is in the feminine, it becomes divisa. So, all Gaul, you see I have Gallia and omnis in green, because they go together. All Gaul is divided, and divided how? We have in partes, and partes here is in the accusative. Notice that es. So when you have in and an accusative, it means into instead of on if it was ablative. So into parts. And how many parts? Well, the next word answers that. It's 3 parts. What you see here is a modern map, not an ancient map, a modern map of France and Italy, and there are some other countries in there too, like you can see Spain and Germany. Well, it's listed as Deutschland in this map, but it's Germany, trust me. And so, what is Gaul, this Gallia that Caesar talks about? Well, Gaul is primarily, and given this is a modern map, what's known today as France. You can see the white outlines that separate France from Spain and Italy and Germany. So what makes Gaul, the target here? Well, it's kind of right above Italy, separated by the Alps. But yeah, it's right up there to the north, so that's their gateway into the rest of Europe. They want that land, that area. They want to conquer it, and that's what they're going for in this in these commentaries. So yeah, it's a whole lot of Rome out there. It's just not called Rome yet. It's called Gaul. That's the prize. Next we have quarum unam incolunt Belgae, aliam Aquitani. So what's that mean? Quarum is a genitive. It means of those. It's plural, and it's feminine. So it's going to refer back to parts. One of those parts. Unam is one, and it's in the accusative here, because we're going to look at our verb. Our verb is incolunt. Incolunt is to inhabit. So it's third person plural. They inhabit what? What do they inhabit? They inhabit one part, one of those parts. So who does? Well, the next word, even though it's at the end, it's our subject. The Belgae. The Belgae are a tribe. Where we get the word Belgium from, which is, kind of to the north of France. So but right now, I mean, Belgium doesn't exist. It's Gaul. But there's a tribe of people there called the Belgae. They live in one part of what Caesar calls Gaul. Allium. Allium is another feminine word. Alius, alia, aliud, masculine, feminine, neuter. And it's in the accusative, feminine, which Brent will show you. Allium means the other. So, quadamunam, one of those parts. Allium, the other part. And we don't need to repeat incolunt. Romans do this a lot. They don't repeat words. So they leave out incolunt and they just write the subject, Aquitani. Who are the Aquitani? It's another tribe. They live in the south of France, more towards Spain. So in one of those parts live the Belgians, the Belgae, and in the other, the Aquitani. So even in English, we can get by without repeating. They do the same thing in Latin. Okay, we're almost done here, I promise you. Tertiam qui ipsorum lingua Celtae nostra Galli appellantur. So what do we have here? Tertium's in green again. What's that mean? It means we're referring back to parts of Gaul. So tertium sounds like the word tres. You would be right. It's the third part. Unam tres. Unam tertium. We didn't use the word for second. We didn't see that yet. We used alia instead. One, the other, and the third. Big deal, right? Okay, so the tertium, and qui is who, or the ones who. Ipsorum lingua. So, ipsorum refers back to the subject, and lingua is language. It's in the ablative, and that's going to go with our passive verb here, appellantur, and you'll see from Brent's videos what is a passive verb and how do we use that. But the subject is going to be what's acted on, and the ablative is going to be the agent. So he'll cover all of that for you, but basically something is called by a language. Whose language? Ipsorum, the subject. Who's the subject here? Qui. So, who in their own language are called, appellantur, Celtae. So, there's this third area where the people call themselves Celts. Yeah, sounds like, the Celtics. Similar word here. Nostra. What's nostra? Nostra is feminine. Our. Feminine. Why is it feminine? Because it's referring back to lingua. So we have ipsorum lingua, and we have nostra lingua, their own language and our language. And what are they called by our language, the Romans? Galli. So these people, they call themselves the Celts, the Celtae, but Caesar's just going to call them the Galli, the Gauls. Why does he do that? Well, sometimes it can be hard to kind of distinguish, Caesar's kind of, saying that this is what I know about these guys that I'm going to fight. I can't get them all straight. Do my best, but, I'm a Roman, not a Gaul. Whatever they call themselves is their business. So, the Romans call them the Galli. The Galli call themselves the Celtae.